Hello, this is Jessica McKay. In today's video, I'm going to talk about what spirituality is and how to start your spiritual journey. So spirituality is a vehicle. It's a path. It brings you from one place to another place. And where you end up depends on what you're seeking. So you may be looking for a deeper sense of meaning to give to your life. You may be looking for a greater sense of purpose. You may be looking for inner peace or happiness. So a spiritual practice or path can get you to that place through change. It's also a vehicle for change and transformation. So when we go from being one person to being someone else, it's not that we change so much, it's that our understanding of who we are changes. So spirituality is that path where you go from one sense of understanding your world and your universe to a new sense of understanding. So it's really like just changing your mind, changing your thoughts, changing your beliefs. That's what a spiritual path really contains within it. And there are 3 stages of a spiritual journey. The first one is awareness. The second one is transformation, and the third one is mastery. So I want to go over these really briefly with you. The first step, no matter what your goal is at the end, whether it's to have a sense of purpose or a sense of connection, or a sense of inner peace, whatever your goal is, awareness is going to be your first step. Awareness is about becoming aware, waking up to what is going on for you. What do you believe? What thoughts were downloaded into your mind as a child? What beliefs were given to you by your caregivers that no longer serve you? So it's about taking inventory, taking stock of what is going on for you. It's also getting in touch with your feelings. We repress a lot of feelings over the course of our lives, especially during childhood, when our parents or the people raising us teach us to repress our emotions. So the first stage of a spiritual journey is reopening a lot of doors that have been shut through our conditioning in order to become aware of where we are right now, to become aware of what you're feeling, to become aware of what you believe. That is so important. And after that stage, you move into the second stage of a spiritual journey, which is transformation. This is where you start changing what you believe consciously. Because when you were little, your beliefs were given to you unconsciously. You had no choice but to accept them and believe them. You know, if your parents told you something was true, you're 6 years old, you had to believe that. You really didn't have the cognitive ability to reason and think, well, maybe that's not true. No, you had to take that in. You had to absorb it. So in step 2, you are looking at that list of beliefs and you are deciding which ones you're going to keep and which ones you're going to release. And there are several steps and stages to that, but that's a very powerful place. It's practicing becoming aware of the reactions you have because of your beliefs. So that's stage 2. Now, stage 3 is mastery. And this is where you begin to have the ability to manifest and to create the kind of life that really reflects back what's true for you now and what reflects back your new belief system that you have consciously chosen. So in this video, I'm going to tell you just for stage 1, how to get started. So I'm just going to cover stage 1 of awareness in this video because this is the beginner's guide. So in order to wake up in your life, in order to become aware of what it is that you want to change. This is about drilling down to the reasons why you may not be feeling fulfilled, why you may not be feeling a sense of happiness or joy. It's always because of the beliefs you're holding. It's not really the outer circumstances. I know it seems like that. Sometimes it just feels like we are victims. Stuff is happening and we feel out of control. And partially that's because we believe that we're victims and we believe that we have no control. So what I'd love for you to be able to do is just to develop a daily practice, and this can be painless, of just sitting with yourself and taking inventory of what you feel. So we're going to start out with feelings and we'll go to beliefs in a minute. So just take stock of how you feel when you're sitting in the quiet, in the stillness of yourself. What is moving in you? Is there anxiety in your body? Is there fear? Is there some sadness? Really feel into yourself. And this can take time. This can take some practice because a lot of us have been taught that it's not okay to have certain feelings. For instance, anger. We're not allowed to express anger in our culture. It's not accepted usually. Usually growing up, we're taught that anger is not an acceptable emotion and go to your room and don't come out until you can stop being angry. So we learn how to repress our feelings. So in the morning, and you can think of this as meditation, sit with yourself. You might close your eyes and just scan. I want you to scan your body for the feelings in your body. Is there grief in there? And then just let yourself acknowledge it. This doesn't have to be where you get really traumatized about anything. This is just becoming aware of what is going on inside of you. And from that, everything else will come. So that is your first step. That's your homework. Become aware of what's going on in your body. What are you feeling? And then the second step is to make a list. Take your journal, take a pen, and make a list of the different categories of your life. Relationship, money, sex, family, and write down what your beliefs are about these things. See if you can get in touch with what you were taught about sex, what you were taught about money, what you were taught about what being a good partner means, what being a good friend means. Really make these categories and then see what you believe about each of them. You might write, money is, and then fill in the blanks. Sex is, fill in the blanks. A happy relationship is, and just see what's in your mind. What do you believe? What beliefs have come out of your life experience that you're holding on to? This is the first step of any spiritual journey, is taking stock of what you believe and what you feel so that you know where you are. This is your starting point. And from here, from this point, we can start looking at how to transform the things that you believe, which will change how you feel. It'll change the feelings in your body. So you'll go from feeling victimized and feeling angry and feeling afraid to feeling empowered, to feeling peaceful, to feeling joy. So it's all about the stories that we learn to tell ourselves. So this work can be fun. It can be exciting. Think of it as if you're an archaeologist and you are discovering, you are chipping away at the wall that is separating your awareness from what's really going on inside you. For most of us, there is an invisible wall at our throats. And this is a wall that we just learned to build. And there's also a wall around our hearts, which is how we keep ourselves safe. It's how we protect ourselves from heartbreak. And we learn to do this because we're just doing the best we can. But this wall at the throat really chokes off your feelings. It pushes them down so that you don't have to have an awareness of what's really coming up to be released in your life. So those are the things that we're going to be working with, that you're going to work with on your spiritual journey, is breaking down these barriers and these walls. And these walls are, think of them as blindfolds. They are just put in place to protect you from figuring out what's going on inside you, because our brains will go to any lengths to protect us from figuring out what's going on inside of us, because we've been taught that what's going on inside of us is dangerous. It's dangerous to be vulnerable. It's dangerous to be angry. It's dangerous to grieve. But none of that is really true. And you'll discover that as you go through this process. So again, just to summarize for you, what you're doing is coming to a place of awareness. That is the first step on any spiritual journey, so that you know what's moving in you. You know what's happening in your body, in your heart, in your mind. And from that point, you can begin to change it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that it helps you start your spiritual practice of getting in touch with yourself where you are right now, so that you can bring love and transformation to that. Take care.